Day 4 of Gravity Sketch. I have learned a few things. Number one, for whatever reason, it records like up here, wherever I'm looking, but like 2 inches above where I'm looking. So as I've been painting, I've been trying to look up as I'm recording or as I'm drawing so that in the video that's recorded, it actually shows instead of like only on the bottom half of the screen. Okay, Meta. I just wish I could like place a freaking camera in there to record from the position that I want to record from. I don't know why this is so tricky, but for some reason it does not exist yet. Problems in my life that need solving. Thank you, Meta. Anyway, here I am experimenting with color. I really, really like to paint with opacity on with these ribbons. It's been coming out so cool, and at first I just started making squiggles. I get so mesmerized by painting in 3D. It's so fun. I yeah, so then I start just looping, adding, and eventually I'm going to give you one. Well, I guess it could be one of two things that it turns into. Do you know? Do you know which of the two things? Come on. It's either a goddess or a flower. In this case, in case you can't tell yet, maybe I shouldn't. No spoilers. Anyway, it turns into a flower. So I just start playing. I just start painting in all these random colors and looping, and it's so fun. And I am making the strokes like wider and thinner, but they're still like 2-dimensional planes in a 3-dimensional space, which I like. So then I just start playing around with how I can make the like fill the petals, but not in a flat way, in like a more interesting way, like as if I were painting. This is how I would paint if it was actually paint. This is like, if you look at my paintings, you can see that this is actually how I paint with physical paint. So it's been really fun to take that technique and try to make it look like something interesting in Gravity Sketch. I love these colors. I'm really hoping that when I export it to Blender, I did export it. I'm going to play with the file in a little bit. I really hope that the colors turn out as cool in my Blender file as they do here. So we'll see how they do with the transition from one program to the other. Sometimes that kills the colors. But I love this like periwinkle color. I think it's like purple, but not that purple. You know, it's like flirting with purple, but kind of blue. So anyway, this is day 4 of me experimenting, and then I realized that I hate the brown. I started with brown because I was like, let me start with a darker color, and I was like, who am I kidding? That does not go. So eventually I delete those strokes. But you can recolor them. I just was like in a flow, and I was like, boom, gone, done, bye, see ya. Anyway, so now you can see that the flower shape is taking form, and then I'm getting tired of the colors, so I want more colors. So I really like the way that the palette is in Gravity Sketch is really cool because you can go around the circle, and then if you want to go like to pick tint, I believe is the word. But if you want the shade, which is like the darker, you like push down and it gets darker. It's so intuitive and so cool. And it's been really fun to play with color. I really thought I was going to end up doing all of these a in like the gray color that it comes with, and then colorizing them in Procreate like I did for the museum show. You can see it in other videos that I have here. But for that project, I was under a time crunch because I had a deadline, and right now I don't. So I'm just playing until someone else gives me a deadline. Do you have a show that you want to do? Because I could mess with another deadline. Sometimes I feel like creating these structures of this like 100-day thing that I'm doing is the way to make progress on some kind of a time frame, because if not, like I bought this air dry clay. This is going to turn into like a mini podcast as I'm narrating what I'm doing as I'm not narrating. Anyway, I bought 10 pounds of air dry clay. One time I was sick last year and I was really bored and I was like, oh, I need something to do with my hands that I could like lay down and do. So I bought 10 pounds of air dry clay, and it's literally I made these really cool hands out of them. Like I wanted to make, I'm insane. Whatever. I have all these projects going at the same time, such as Life of an Artist. Then I started like coloring. I really wanted to make like the part where the flower connects to the stem noticeable, so it was a little bit more structured, not so blobby. So I made the stroke really tiny and started, coloring as if it's like a coloring book, but like in 3D. I'm having so much fun with this, you guys. Do you like this? Are you having fun watching these? Because I'm having so much fun making them, and I'm really, yeah. Anyway, this has been really fun. So I bought 10 pounds of air dry clay, and I've been playing with it all day. And because I feel like there's no end goal, it always gets pushed to like the last thing in my fun list to do. So I decided that I am going to get back into it. And I've had these hands, but they keep cracking because I didn't realize that I had to like let them dry slowly by putting plastic bags around them. Anyway, learning curves. So it's been a year of me playing with these hands and like fixing holes in the cracks of these hands for a freaking year. So I could have done 100 days of playing with clay, but maybe I'll do that next time. Anyway, back to 3D painting. So the 3D painting is really fun because, first of all, the MetaQuest 3 is so much better than the MetaQuest 2. Like, yay, Meta for that, because the MetaQuest 2, legit, like, I would get a headache after 30 minutes in there. It was awful. So the MetaQuest 3 is much, much, much better. And I'm really liking it. Oh, I think this is about where I'm like, get rid of this brown shit. Okay, I'm painting in the colors, and then of course I forget that I have to look up with the camera because it's like the camera's like in my third eye basically, but I'm like looking down to paint, and I have to like point it up because otherwise you see it gets like cropped off. The trials and tribulations of painting in 3D. Anyway, it's starting to take shape pretty nicely, as you can see. And then I'm like, too blobby. So I start making it more defined because now I know what it is a little bit more. Um, yeah. I'm wondering also how this transparency is going to export and how it will look. Like I'm going to do a USDZ probably. So if you have an iPhone, you can just open it on your iPhone and place it in 3D space wherever you are. So if you are not on my mailing list, get on my mailing list on my goddess tribe. Oh, here, there. I was like, get out of here with this brown stuff. Okay, now it looks so pretty. Obsessed. Anyway, get on my goddess tribe email list because I will be sharing the files for the USDZ flowers and dancers. I'll probably make it like sway or something. Maybe I'll make it so that when you like touch it, something happens. I don't know. I'm so excited. Maybe towards the end of this 100 days of painting in VR, I'll end up like doing 100 days, but like the second half of it might be like animating and processing all these files. It has been a lot of fun to create them, but I feel like I'm just gonna have 100 sketches. Although whatever, I don't know, maybe that'll be fun. What do you guys think? Do you think I should do like 100 days of sketching in VR, or like processing the files and animating them and exporting them to something fun you can literally place on your hand and just like take a video, because life is too short to not have fun. Yeah. So you see here when you like when I move up and down, it will change to it will change the shade, which again, so fun. And then I started picking up, because you can like pick up the shapes and move them. And so that's something you can't do in real painting, because once it's there, oil paint is more malleable. You can kind of move shit, but not like, take it out, remove it. Oh, and then at some point I changed the scale of some of them. Oh, I think the leaves, because the leaves are too big, and then I like squeezed them down to make it prettier visually for the composition. Maybe this. Oh, and then, oh, that's what I did. I, down here, I started doing the floor, because I had pictured this like, I'm going to send it to you and it will be like on your hand or something. Like you could like place it on a table in front of you, or like on your hand in front of you, and like it will just be like swaying in the wind. Or like I said, maybe if you like touch it, it will be like, I don't know. I'll see if I can make it interactive like that with a USDZ file. I'm so excited. So yeah, I think maybe at least for the first half of this challenge, I'm going to, I mean, it's only like 15, well, it's like 20 minutes, but I'm allowing for a few minutes of like, what does this button do? What does that button do? And then like a good solid 15 minutes of painting in VR. But I'm also allowing that to include time of like messing around with the settings and seeing what each thing does and how to get it to do interesting things and make interesting shapes. Um, so, oh yeah, I couldn't figure out. Oh, there, I figured it out. So again, all this has all been like a learning curve. I have been painting in Gravity Sketch. I've painted in Gravity Sketch for years, but I haven't really devoted that much time. It was more just like, let me get this 3D object out of my brain and into Blender so that I can animate it for whatever I was making. This is more experimental and I can take my time with it. But somehow, so the selection thing that is like the gray circle that turned red right there, somehow I got it to be a square. You can change the shape of what the selection is, and I couldn't figure out how to get it back. But then I figured out how to get it back to a circle. But yeah, here's how I'm like shrinking down, which is again really fun. I guess if I was painting this like en verdad, like in real life with actual paint, I would have painted over some of that background because it was like too big. It was overtaking the flower. But I do like that you can play with scale. I don't know how to. I'm like really interested in how the lighting is going to export too, because I want it, lighting is such a part of painting. So I wonder how I can export. I wonder in USDZ if you can export lights with it so that it always has light. But I think with AR stuff, it kind of by nature has to take on the light of wherever you place it. Otherwise, it just really doesn't fit in the environment wherever you place it. And here she is. I feel like it's almost finished, but what do you think? So far it's day 4 and I've done 2 goddesses and a lot of plants. So the first goddess is almost like, I mean, at this point, she's like, all grayscale. And these are so much fun. I also did figure out how to make the edges of the ribbon that I'm painting with to be rounded instead of like a flat edge. I also want the geometry on these to be really light so that way when I'm animating it, it's not like super big, the files, and it's not like super heavy. So anyway, I realize I say anyway a lot. Huh. Yeah, and then I'm just like refining the flower and adding. I really like that sea foamy color, and I like the opacity layer. Sometimes in the AR it gets like kind of confused, like here I'm starting to like move the petals open a little bit more and change the scale on some of them. because why not? Yeah, this petal kind of got like turned to the side, so I'm just making it, um, refining it a little bit more. I mean, I could literally paint squiggles for hours in different colors. It is so fun. And each time I've done it, again, this is only day 4, so maybe by day 96, I'm going to be like, oh my God. I don't know. But if you guys have any suggestions or questions that I can answer, because I think from now on I'm going to start going live with these on YouTube. So watch out for that. Thanks for watching. This was so fun. Look at it. Pretty it is. I love it so much. And stay tuned. You'll be able to hold it in your hands soon. Love you.